Aubrey. We're back today doing a recap and review of Put a Ring on It, Season 3, Episode 8, Step Up or Step Aside.
Wasn't that exciting?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it this week. I think I see some growth, but I also see some individuals that seem to be kind of trapped, unfortunately, in their old habits as well.
Yeah, I see growth and I see regression. So we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get it. We're gonna get into that tonight. So
Right,
uh,
right.
what do you want to? Hey, Jeremy, what's up, dude?
Hey,
Hey,
Jeremy.
how's
Well,
everybody doing?
welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah.
Feels good to be
uh,
back.
it is. It's good to have you back too. Okay, guys. So it opens up with the couples, all three couples in the therapy session with, as we like to so finally call her, Dr. Ponytail. And Dr. Ponytail is talking to Charlie about the fellow Chris that she went on the date with, because apparently her guy, her man, Otis thinks that Chris, the guy that Charlie went on the date with, thinks that Chris thinks that his woman is weak because he made mention of maybe being able to take her from her man. And what ensues after that, I'm totally discombobulated about it. What did you think about it, Jeremy?
Can I ask a question first?
Oh,
Like,
sure, of course.
so whose show is this? Is this Dr. Nicole's show, or is this a show that they just hired her to be on?
I think she's hired. I don't think it's her show. Do you, when you say her show, you mean like as producer? Is she the
I
producer
mean,
or what
like,
have you?
is she the one who pitched this show to the network?
I don't
I don't know. That's a
I
good
don't know.
question.
I don't know, but I don't think so. I don't get any sense of that. But is that what you
So, like,
feel?
what I'm bothered by
Okay.
is that I'm bothered by a few things. Like
Talk to us.
like we're sitting here, we're telling Charlie that she needs to take her situation seriously, that this isn't a dating show and everything else like that. But then somehow, some way, some chicken head man slips through the cracks and it's talking about, threesomes, all like taking her from her man, doing this God knows what, God knows where, with God knows who. And at this point, I'm like, how did he slip through all the put a ring on it cracks? Like, we didn't ask this man what his interests are. We didn't ask this man what he's looking for. I'm saying, then what is the point of putting these people with these type of people? Like, I'm saying, I don't understand it. Like
You're
the dude,
right. You
like
are absolutely right.
like
Because
and
I
then
felt like he was for the streets. Did you feel like he was for the streets, Jeremy? This guy,
absolutely,
Chris?
and in my opinion, I feel that, and I don't care what nobody says. I believe that the same way that probably Dr. Nicole is helping picking these couples to bring on the show. I feel that she's also helping to pick these people that they go on a date with. I think there's a reason that Alfonso has been getting all of the most beautiful women to go on dates with. Meanwhile, like, meanwhile, Shorty doesn't want to be with Kenneth, and they keep on putting Kenneth with, with just anybody. Like, nobody that he finds attractive, nobody that I even found attractive. And then on top of that, they're putting Charlie with a man who wants to take her from her own man, who has anger and trust and jealousy issues.
Mm,
Like,
mm,
Mhm.
mm.
this is all strategic. This is not all a coincidence. It's no coincidence that these type of women keep on popping up at Alfonso's house. Girls,
Yeah, because
girls,
he got a, as Ace was saying from our interview the other day, he had a bad baddie just yesterday. Ace was here in the
he's
house, but
had like he's had like five in a row. Like, meanwhile, the other men have not had that. Why do they keep on putting all of these? I feel like they're getting women purposefully on par with Shay, to bother her in an incite drama. Just the same way I believe they got Chris with his intentions to incite drama between Charlie and Otis. Just the same way I feel like they got all of these women who they knew Kenneth would not be, interested in, keeping him with Shorty and causing more, like, issues within that couple. Like, I despise this show.
Okay, okay. I
Well,
know you do, but I gotta say something real quick. Hold on, Alex. I gotta say something about Kenneth real quick. Do you think that he would have someone? I'm hearing feedback. Um, do you think he would that this show would be able to even produce somebody that Kenneth would like? Because if what Shorty is saying about Kenneth is true, he wants a six-figure woman, but yet he's not a six-figure man. So how does he even make that happen? How does any show even make that happen for him?
At this point, I don't even know if I believe Shorty anymore. Like I told y'all from the beginning,
Mm.
I haven't liked Shorty anyway.
Mm.
Shorty has never been my cup of tea. You know, she looks like well, we ain't gonna talk about that, but I'm saying like, you know,
Yeesh.
as far as how she carries herself,
Yeah.
I never liked her. But like now seeing the grand scheme of things and doing a little bit of dirt digging and investigation,
Ooh, we're gonna have to
you
get
know,
into that when we get to her as the
I
couple.
found
Yeah.
like I found out that like she hasn't been that rich for that long. And I was like, she just started making money. They used to make around the same amount, although I still do not know what
Well,
is Kenneth's, you know, employment
well,
status. You
well,
know,
wait a minute. So how do we know that they used to make the same amount if we don't even know what Kendall's employment status? Because at least we know what she did for a living. At least we
well,
know that she worked for a radio station. What did he ever do?
he just says he's an independent contractor. That's basically
Any
what he says.
anyway,
That's what he
so
says.
back to Charlotta and Otis and this
Yeah.
Chris situation. Let's talk about that. So
Yeah.
did you guys what did you feel like when Otis said that again that this guy Chris thought that his woman Charlie was weak? And you know, apparently so Charlie in the therapy session got very defensive. She got in a little bit of a tiff, and you know she was like, well, I don't even want to hear that. And then the other ladies kind of jumped in and were agreeing with her that that was kind of disrespectful or rude. Do you think that, and I gotta just say this, and this is overall, it includes including Charlie, do you think that in our community that people are quick to say you're disrespecting me if they don't agree with what someone's saying? Are they quick to say that, or was she right? Was she in the right?
Well, you know, I'm not sure if she's in the right, and we are quick to say that every time somebody disagree with us, we're not being
Yeah, I hear
respected
people
and
saying
so
that
forth.
they
It's
disrespecting
just
me, and now they
yeah.
want to pull out a gun, a knife, or a fist and hit somebody. It's crazy. Like, are we 10 years old? Are we grade schoolers? Or are we adults? Because I thought the people on this show were adults.
Well, let's take it back. I think Otis. First of all, Otis's comments I think were taken out of context, but only because he don't know any better. He really don't know what to say, so he can't really control what comes out of his mouth. I think his
Well,
his dial
that's
his
a problem.
yeah, his dialogue may be a little bit limited. You know, his verbal skills may be a little bit limited as far as
Mm,
in a relationship setting. But
mm-hmm.
when they started with them, she said she was not going back on a date with Chris because he had motives. So the question was asked, what motives? And Charlie said, well, because he was asking me, you know, what was I into? What do I need to, what does he need to do to take me from my man and so forth and so on? And I'm here to try to save this, not to, you know, go gallivanting off with somebody else and some sescapades, right? So everybody else understood that. And I think Alfonso says something that was very telling, but you know, I can't remember what it was, but he kind of kept the conversation even keeled.
Mm-hmm.
And Otis says, you know, I think that, you know, by him approaching her like that, he might feel she's a weak woman, which means that she's weak enough to walk away from him who is so great, you know, who can who can take her from him unless she's that weak because he's so great.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So
And
that, yeah,
that
that makes
that's
sense.
that's what he's saying.
well,
And he's not giving her credit for having her own mind to be strong enough to say, you know, I'm not going to do anything to damage my relationship by running off with this guy who was totally honest with her. See, y'all had a problem with Chris. I don't. You may have a problem with him being placed there, and like Jeremy said, why is he even there?
Well,
But
yeah.
I think he's there to test them, and he
Right.
was totally honest with her. This is what I like. I'm into
Mm-hmm.
threesomes. I'm into threesomes. I like a lot of sex. I like to party. I'm gonna take you from your man. What, you know? He was totally honest with her. Now,
And my whole read on that, if I can interject, my whole read on what he said, actually, because I went back and looked at it, my whole read on it, he actually said, now, unless, again, we know these conversations and dates are edited out after a couple, 2-3 hours, we get maybe 6 minutes, 5 minutes. What I heard him say was, uh, what would it take to get you from your man? So when I hear that, just that phrase, and that was pretty much everything else around the conversation, that was the part that dealt with taking you away from your man. He was saying, what would it take? So if a guy asks me that, I'm gonna say that that's not gonna happen, because here's the thing: anybody that's got maturity, you don't leave another one relationship that you're in for another one. You leave a relationship, I think, because the relationship is not working. It's not sustainable. You're not getting your needs met. That's why you leave a relationship. You don't leave it for another person, because if that's the case, then you'll be like trying on shoes and trying on underwear. You'll be just going from one person to the next person to the next person. What are your boundaries? What is your definition of a relationship? A
But
relationship shouldn't be something that you can change like your underwear. Jeremy, what are you thinking
hold,
on that?
hold on a second.
Okay.
What is it we always say about Charlie and Otis? That they're petty, right?
They're very petty.
So
yes,
they're very petty, both of them. So
both of them, yes.
So what happened after Otis made the comment? She originally said, "I'm not going back out with Chris." Then Otis made the comment that Chris may think she's a weak woman, and then what did she say? I'm reconsidering. I want to go back out with Chris.
She sure did. Yes, she did.
Now how petty is that?
Very petty, because I didn't see anything redeeming about that young man, Chris. Not in his appearance, not in anything he said. But I don't go for guys that are like for the streets. I don't. If I see that or I hear that in your conversation, I'm out, because that doesn't interest me, and I don't see why it would interest Charlie if she's on a whole show about putting a ring on it. Because clearly that guy right there, Chris, he ain't putting a ring on nothing. He's just about sex, and more sex. And I'd be concerned if he was carrying something of a venereal disease nature, allegedly. But
you're a mess.
Yeah, but moving on, because we kind of got stirred up a conversation in the chat, and I want to go ahead and cover that. Let's get back to Shorty and Kenneth. So Monique has a point. She says, I don't trust a word Shorty says. She's not even a six-figure woman or close to it. Ooh. Jeremy, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? You said you did some digging.
Yeah, that's Jeremy woman right there. Go ahead, Jeremy.
They said they said that the only reason that she has money now is because she won a settlement.
Yeah,
right. That's what they said.
I've heard that. I've heard that too.
That apartment that they had a couple years ago wasn't given six figures.
And I think that's what Kenneth means, because Kenneth said, "You just started making more than me. I was paying most of the bills. You just started." And I think when she got that settlement, if he's correct, because we're not sure with either one of them if there's any truth in either one of them. Okay, but if what he's saying is correct, she just started making more than him because she got that settlement, and maybe it's gone to her head a little bit.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, let's go with that. Let me go with that. Let me go with that line of thinking. So let's say he says he was making a little bit more than her, but again, I say this: she has a documented job. She has or had a documented job and a career in the radio industry, right? We don't know what he does. He's talking about some blog he may have. It's hard to make money off of blogs. Okay, so come on. Okay. But anyway, okay, let's go with what you're saying. So she got this big, let's say, I don't know, allegedly, let's say she got $1 million. Let's say she got a couple million. If in her mind, she wants to now leave the relationship, what's the problem? What's the problem? She has a right to choose who she wants to be in a relationship with, because I see her as bringing Kenny to this show, not for a proposal. She's not looking for a proposal from that guy.
That's the problem.
Can we all agree on that?
And that's the problem.
So but hold up. But if we agree on that and she's trying to get rid of him, there's no problem with her wanting to dump this guy. She's allowed to dump anybody she wants at any time for any reason.
Okay? Right. So why come on put a ring on it?
I don't know, but just maybe she felt. We go back to the very beginning now. We know we have some questions about both of their integrities and both of their truthfulness, but I'm at this point, until I know more or till I hear something that convinces me to the contrary. I feel like Shorty, there is some issues about control. There is some issues about physical and emotional and other types of safety between her and Kenneth, allegedly. Okay. And so I feel like this is the perfect setup for her, the way she could figure out and see a way clear to put him on public display, how his behavior is, that he's not working, he's not making money, he's not pulling up his side of the holding up his side of the relationship, and she wants to get out. So I see no problem with it. What's the problem, guys?
I'll be interested to know
What's the
if
problem?
I'll be interested to know if she didn't start behaving like this until she got that money, because money changes people. Okay, so if she started acting like this after she got that money, we know why. It's the
Okay,
same
but
thing if you get
mm,
a full figured woman, a BBWs they like to call them, okay,
okay, okay,
and they typically don't get the attention their more slender counterparts get. Okay,
okay,
typically they don't. Okay, now they lose a bunch of weight, and I've seen this with my own eyes and experienced this in my relationships. Okay,
mm,
they
okay.
lose a bunch of weight, they start smelling themselves, they're getting all this attention. Okay,
Oh, you
now
got some really crude little comments there, but go
now
ahead.
now now, now you ain't good enough no more because they're getting all this attention now. See what I'm saying? So now they want to go out and be adventurous again. And you was with them when they was big and huge, but now they slender and getting all this attention, and now they're strained. And I've seen this over and over again. So it's the same thing. It's a high. It's intoxicating. You know, the money, the weight loss, the driving the nice cars, whatever it is that a person already is deep inside. Okay, this materialism will make them more of what they already are, whatever that
But
is.
okay, but my thing is, again, what is the problem? People have the right, whether they drop weight, add weight, become sexy thick, become sexy slim,
Who you
become
don't listen?
light skinned. No, no, I'm listening, but I'm still saying what is, because it sounds like, okay, follow with me for a second. It sounds like you are trying to remove the choice from women, but men do this all the time. Men get money, men get in a pro ball position, and now they go from their sisters to other races. So what's the big deal?
Let
People
me,
have the right to change.
Jeremy. I'm going to say this slow so she
Hmm.
understands.
Yeah, say it slow. But
She
remember, we
had
only got an hour.
she has the right to get out. She has the right to choose whoever she want to be with. The
Hmm.
question is, why come on a show, a nationally televised show, put a ring on it as if you want a ring and save the relationship when you don't? So we all know that people do this to promote product, to get their name out there, to try to become a celebrity. What's the ulterior motive that Shorty may have for being on this show when she has no intention of saving this thing? That's my question.
I said, and my response to that was, in my opinion, I feel like she's doing it for safety reasons. What part of that didn't you hear? Do I need to slow down?
As much junk as she's talking right now, I don't think she's doing it for safety reasons. She's talking too
You
much
know
crap
what?
to him.
Maybe she's venting. Okay, so here's the thing. If you've been in a relationship where you've been silenced because of abuse, whatever type it may be, allegedly, financial, emotional, physical, you've been silenced because someone was stronger and more powerful and intimidating to you, and now you're in a setting with cameras all around you, following you around, and you feel empowered and emboldened to say what you really think. Yeah, she is coming on strong, but is she saying anything that's not true? Because here's what I see. Kenneth, he makes all these statements about, yeah, I'm pulling my share, I pay most of the bills, but nobody that's commentating on this show, that's reviewing it. I watched a whole bunch of reviews over the weekend, and I'm telling you this, nobody pointed out the very fact that when he said all that stuff, guess what? He was alone in a confessional. He did not say it in the therapy hall. He did not say it to Dr. Ponytail. So to me, that sounds like a lie.
Shorty may be lying too.
Could be, but like, you know what? You got your opinion and I got mine. And like I
That's
said,
it.
she said her truth in front of everybody. If he was telling the truth, why did he not correct her there in front of everybody?
What's her truth? Has she told us she's being abused?
I didn't say that. That's not the point we're talking about. Now I'm arguing about the money part. I'm saying that if you're a man, you mean to tell me you're going to be sitting in therapy with two other couples, and I'm talking about you, and I'm saying this and that, and you don't pull your weight, you don't pay the bills, blah blah blah. You're going to tell me you're going to sit there and not say a damn thing?
Nope.
Come on, get out of here.
I'm gonna
Get
say
out of
something. What
Right.
you all animated for? I'm going to say something. I'm telling you that
Are
neither
you
one of
going to
them.
address what I'm talking about? Is what I'm saying, because he clearly didn't. He waited till his confessional alone. Okay, but yet it's still, when he gets alone, what's he doing? Taking her phone and taking her banking information. Come on now.
I'm not excusing him for his
Mm-hmm.
behavior, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not now. If she grew a pair because she on TV and she feels protected, she need to come out and say that. I have not once heard her say she feels in danger. She feels abused.
People
None of
don't
that.
say that. People that
Listen,
are in danger don't say that.
listen. You
Oh
you
my
and your
God.
you and your feelings right now. But she got no
It
problem
doesn't matter
saying
if I'm in
she
my
got no
feelings. It's
she
a
got no
fact. You
she got
made
no
a whole
problem.
film. You made a
Listen.
whole film about this, and because people are in
So
danger, doesn't
what?
mean so. So
So
what?
what?
Let me finish my
You
sentence.
don't let me finish because you triggered again.
It
Okay,
doesn't matter if I'm triggered. The point is, people that are in danger don't walk around with signs on saying I'm in danger. If it was that
that's
simple,
common sense.
they wouldn't be in danger.
That's common sense.
Anyway, Monique says the content creator, the content
Love you.
I would tell you what to do with that love, but right now I'm
Oh,
going to read what Monique says. The
okay.
content creator, I asked her, this is in response to, I asked her what were her and Shorty talking about. They were arguing about something earlier this week or today or whenever, recently. She says that they were on someone's post, and the content creator said that if Shorty won $1 million, she's treating him poorly because of it. Shorty kept saying she didn't win a big sum, but wouldn't explain why she's so mean.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
And then also Monique says success. Oh, okay. She's talking to someone else. So
yeah,
never mind. Never mind.
yeah.
She's saying hi. So Jeremy, what do you think about Shorty and this lawsuit and how she's treating Kenneth?
I'm kind of scared to even say.
Sorry, Jeremy.
um, in my opinion,
Oh lordy.
in my opinion,
Yes.
I don't. I don't believe neither one of them. It's getting really hard for me to know who to believe, who to trust, cuz I don't
Mm.
know. I don't know. Like, I definitely believe that,
Oh,
Kenneth is a
Monique.
bum. I definitely believe that. And I know that he's very comfortable, lounging on the couch that is, Shorty. Now, the thing is, like,
Ooh.
does that necessarily mean that Shorty is like literally in fear of her life? I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily the case to be true, because
I don't
like I
believe that. I don't
like I
believe that
said,
either,
like
Jeremy.
Wait a minute, Jeremy speaking, Alex. You're gonna do that to him
Yeah.
too? Go ahead, Jeremy.
but I was saying that, it's just some of the, like, I can understand like you venting or getting it off your chest, but even when they're alone and Dr. Nicole and the rest of the couples are not there, she is literally tearing this man apart. And I just cannot imagine, somebody, because like my mother been in an abusive relationship with my stepdad, and I was in an abusive household, and my mom was scared to even say the wrong thing.
Right.
Let alone tell my stepdad that he was a broke dude who ain't got nothing ever going for himself and she deserves better. I don't think she would ever said that. Otherwise that Cox remote would have been going at her forehead. So I
Ooh,
just I
not the Cox as in COX remote.
yeah, like
I get it, it's a cable company, but that sure was funny.
like
Right up there with that pussy galore. Right up there with pussy galore drink.
but like I'm saying,
Oh lordy.
so when it comes to her actions, I don't necessarily believe her. And I want to know how she makes six figures. I want to see her tell us how she makes all of this money, because being a DJ or a radio host, you do not make that much unless you're well known, and nobody knows who Shorty is, even by that nickname. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
she has, like, a stabilized, fan base like a Wendy Williams or like a Ricky Smiley, or any like a
Or Kim,
Ebro.
or Kempire.
Yeah, she doesn't like she has none of those things. So I'm trying to figure out at what point did you start being this woman that makes so much more than him, that's so much that's so out of his like league and everything else like that. But you wasn't all of that before when you were wearing them hard, church wigs a couple years ago on those YouTube videos. Like it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't giving me six figures. So in my opinion, I just think that she got money
Okay.
and she don't want to be with him no more. She wants somebody that's on the level that cannot own, because she's spending her money. Like she doesn't want to do that. She wants to conserve it. So she wants to spend somebody else's money. So now that she's at this point in her life, she doesn't want Kenneth. But Kenneth is not trying to let her go either. He's not like going down without a fight. She wants him to just pack up his stuff and leave, but he wants to fight for the relationship. But I don't know if he's fighting because he loves her or because he loves the comfortability. At this point, I'm not sure, because he
It
does
looks
look
like
like he really does care about her. In the way that he
hmm,
speaks to her and how hurt he looks when she says these things
yeah,
about him. It's not like
yeah.
he's just like in it. He don't look like a dude that's just in it for the money per se.
Well, what you said about that comfortability, because I feel like it's like these grown men, these hobosexuals, and that's HOBO sexual, hobo as in bum. These kind of guys go directly from their mother's basement or house, and then they go to some woman. So I feel like he loves being comfortable and not having to work. So
I
that's what
like
I feel like. I
I
mean, I'm
believe
sorry.
no, I'm saying I agree that I believe that too. I believe there's a little bit of truth in both of their stories and a little
Mm,
bit of falsehoods in both of their stories. Like I said, I don't believe that she's in fear for her life. I do believe that she's tired and she wants this man to go. She just doesn't know how to do it. And she came on the show just for that. But I don't think that Shorty is like, in witness protection, in fear of her life over Kenneth. I just don't believe that.
Yeah,
And I
she's not
just
as
and
scared as you think
but
she
I
is.
do believe that Kenneth is like comfortable with Shorty using her money, but Shorty's up there like this ain't gonna last me forever. I just reached a point where I'm looking cute. I got my makeup right. I got my hair finally looking good and my body's all right, and I got all of this money. Let me try to find another man who's at this level or more that I can meet and like combine both of our assets so I can have longevity with this money. But if she just with Kenneth, she's gonna run through it, and she doesn't want that to happen. So, in my opinion, she's ready to move on to somebody better. She feels that she's grown out of Kenneth, and that's okay. But I feel like she should just say that.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Right. Just like I said, I don't think she's as scared as Aubrey thinks that she is. I think Shorty at this point is playing games. She's going back and forth with this man numerous
Yeah.
times. According to her, he's followed her. He's parked outside her job, her workplace, waited for her when she tried to get rid of him. She take him back and lay with him again. His job has been slinging it, and like we always say, peeing and eggs.
Bean and
And and
eggs,
and
and
and, and,
I'm
and
gonna do a whole video about that, because I think I told you earlier today that I saw something and I said this must be a thing for these homosexuals to throw around peeing and eggs, because I saw another guy throwing around the peeing and eggs
and,
in
I'm gonna tell
allegedly.
you, these
Hmm.
homosexuals are not starving for sex. They have to have willing participants, and these women out here are lonely enough to deal with it and put up with it. But when they get tired of it and using the guy as a toy, when they get tired of it, it's
And
harder sometimes to get out
and
than their rich. Okay, don't say and. And with you. When I'm making my points, don't say and. Shorty is playing with it, and I'm thinking, and you and I both know DV is a very serious thing,
it is,
and
it
I'm
is.
offended at people who play with it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if she's scared and she get the hell out, or she stay with him and work it out. But I think she's on.
Mm.
I think she's on ring on it for some other ulterior motive. She's not trying to save nothing.
Well, I thought you said initially that you said that she's clearly trying to get rid of Kenny. So
She
I
is
agree with you. Well, right, but you're saying ulterior motives. She's not selling the product that we've seen. She doesn't have a website anywhere, or she doesn't. She's not selling any products that we've seen.
You
So
follow her on Instagram? She
I've
posted.
seen her page. Yeah,
She,
what does she post? What is
she
she
post.
selling?
She posting every day up and down. She just want to be known. She wants to be
Oh,
famous.
so you saying she's a clout chaser? Is that
Right.
it?
That's it.
Oh, that could be. Now that very well could be. I'm not gonna. But you know what? If that's the case, I mean, that's 8 out of 10 of the people on a reality show. So what? So
Mm-hmm.
what? So it could be multiple things. That's what I'm saying, okay,
mm,
Mister. Mm-hmm.
mm. Let's
Mm-hmm. Now
let's
you
go
and
down.
your feelings. Now you and your feelings.
No,
Now you triggered. Ha
I
ha
know.
ha ha ha.
Whatever.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought
Listen,
so.
I want to get to my girl hot pants. That's what I want to get to.
Yeah, well, we'll get there when we get there because we're taking it in order, buddy. So buck
Mm-hmm.
up, buck up, buck up.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
okay, yeah, you're right. So hot pants is hot pants is making her way to the house. All right, and I'm like, woo, them hot pants is hot. but to her credit, Shay lets her in, doesn't slam the door in her face, and really doesn't make any comments to her about her attire. Because I mean, what can she say? The girl got it going on. Miss Hot Pants got it going on. No matter how you're looking at it, okay?
My
And,
woman. That's
huh?
it. My woman, hot pants. I like her.
Hot pants, right? So
Mhm.
she gets Alfonso in the car and tells him to buckle up because safety first. He said safety first. So what do you think about this date, Jeremy? What do you think about their date?
You mean Fonzo and the girl, right?
Alfonso in the hot
I just
pants,
want to I
yes.
just want to put it out there that she was absolutely beautiful. Like
Absolutely.
she
Absolutely.
like
I agree.
I was like she is gorgeous. Like she was really pretty.
They
I was
just get
like
prettier and prettier, don't they, on this show?
I mean only for Fonzo of course because they're trying to find the right woman that he'll cheat on Shay for to cause drama at the reunion for this show. Obviously, that's what they're looking for. So like and the woman just gonna keep on getting finer and finer and finer until Beyonce walks through the door to go on a date with them. In my opinion, like
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
like, but like I thought that she was nice. Shay was way more reserved, but I honestly feel like that's because production warns Shay if she tried to fight anybody else, she'll be dealing with repercussions and she'll be getting sued by the people that she's trying to fight because they didn't bring her on the show to be a liability. So I think that she's definitely cooled out because they probably told her behind the scenes, if you try that again, you could just get off the show.
Right.
So
I was thinking about that too because shows do have liabilities, insurance liability issues, and she would be one because you trying to swing on old girl from Detroit. We don't play that. You see, she picked up that big old platter and like, yeah, come on with it, come on.
I mean,
Yeah.
Buck if you want to,
That's your word. That's your word of the day, huh?
Anyway, Jeremy, go ahead.
The girl,
I'm ignoring you, sir.
The girl came across as nice. She came across as unbothered. I don't honestly think that she was even interested in Fonzo like that, and that's just my opinion.
You tell we back to Miss Hot Pants because Alex and I were having a whole other
conversation.
So
who's Miss Hot Pants?
Miss Hot Pants is out with Alfonso.
Remember she had them shorts on with them booty cheeks hanging out.
That's why I was just saying. I mean, but those aren't pants; those are shorts.
Yeah.
Shorts. I mean, shorts. Yeah. Hot pants are shorts, Jeremy.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah, it's a 70s term. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I was saying that, like, in my opinion, I didn't feel like they had like much chemistry. I feel like they just throw out a bunch of empty, compliments. Like all women who just want the money just say that, oh my God, you so cute. What you do? Yeah. Oh, you work with Rick Ross. That's why you so fine, huh? Like that's what it was kind of giving me. Like, I was like,
I didn't get that but their children. I thought they actually had a chemistry and they had some things in common. But go ahead, Alex.
He's just trying hard. He's trying hard because he know what kind of kook he got back at home.
But he's trying hard in what way? Trying hard to
not to touch her, not to be too flirtatious, not to seem like he's too interested like that and everything on camera, right? Because he know what kind of kook he got back home. And I think
you gonna call that girl a kook? Shame on you.
And I think because
she fight the women, so he fine.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I think because she acts so crazy in the past episodes that they picked this woman on purpose, really to test her. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked that woman's attire and say, walk in there with your butt hanging out and see what Shay does. So I think they may have done that on purpose, but they picked this woman specifically to test Shay because they know she's ignorant. Okay. And they said, when this woman comes, we'll see how you're going to act. and the woman comes to see Alfonso, and she's dressed provocatively and butt hanging out and all that kind of stuff, and she acts and Shay
You
acts civil.
focusing on her behind a lot. Are you triggered?
Listen,
What's going on with you? Because you focusing on her behind a
I'm
whole
just,
lot.
I'm just,
We
I'm just,
all saw her cheeks. Can we move on, sir?
I'm just thinking about James Brown. Hey, hot pants. Hey.
Please don't
So,
ever do that again. Please, let's not ever do that again. Please.
Thank you, Jeremy.
that
I'm glad you're here to keep the balance along with me because
that's for your time, Jeremy. That's
Alex
for your
has
time.
lost his mind. He see a little bit of hips and a little bit of booty and a little bit of thigh, and he just loses his mind. He still does not have self-control. That's so sad. So
sad, so sad. But
mm.
but I think she was more into
Hey, even your
Fonzo.
friend, your long time, lifelong friend, Sabrina says, "Here we go." She know you. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go down the slippery Alex slope.
But I think she was more into Fonzo than he was into her because he was just trying too hard not to be into her, and that was clearly evident. She was flirting with him. She was trying to reach over to him. They had some things. They had some things in common, but he just didn't want to try hard, like Jeremy said, on camera, because it would have been so easy to slip with this woman because she was so pretty.
She was pretty, but I thought, here's the thing, and I'm going to say this as a woman that's straight and has no interest in any woman of any kind, no matter how beautiful. But here's the thing, what I'm going to say, I thought she was not only physically beautiful, but I enjoyed their banter, and I felt like it was natural. I felt like she showed a genuine interest in him, like the fact that they were both apparently, I guess, Scorpios, and they had birthdays coming up within the next couple of weeks. And I felt like there was a natural banter. The fact that she had a child and he had a child, and that she was able to, with her child's father, she was able to bridge that gap of co-parenting in an intelligent, mature way. I think that was kind of impressive to not only myself, but also to Alfonso, because clearly the problem that he's having with Shay in part is that she's immature and she doesn't deal well with other women. And I don't understand how as a woman you don't deal well with other women. I don't understand that. That's a problem because we are more than half the world's population.
And you know what's interesting, Aubrey? Alfonso said he has 3 children.
Yeah, he did say that. I'd heard that before anyway.
So why is it he has so much issues with this one baby mama that he can't seem to shake and keep the door open? He said out his own mouth, if I tell her it's all about me and Shay and the family, whatever, that closes the door for her. I think that's very telling to say something like that, because it's like 3.5 years with Shay. Why does the baby mama think the door is still open? And that went over everybody's head. Nobody's talking about that. Not even Dr. Ponytail.
Well, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I know. Like that. Like Shay's date said, he's playing games. Just simple as that.
Well, I will agree with that. I absolutely agree with what Shay's date said, that Alfonso is playing games. Alfonso is a person, he's a man who, like a lot of men, like to avoid confrontation with women, avoid talking about serious issues. He wants to giggle and laugh and be silly instead of facing things that need to be faced. You know, so he'd rather do that. And that has become, apparently, that's been a lifelong thing. He's a mama's boy. He can't talk to his mother and tell his mother that he's actually a grown arse man. So that's a problem. You know, I mean, the guy's got to be what, almost 40 something. Okay. And you know, you 40 something and you can't have a conversation with your mother. I mean, I love my mother. She's gone on in now. But when I was an adult, a young adult, I was able to sit down and have conversations with her and tell her where the boundaries are in a respectful, healthy manner. And we continued on having a great relationship. But here's some things that you're not going to do. Okay.
Right.
All right, Miss Lady, I love you. Love you. Here's a hug and some flowers. But here's what you're not going to do in my life. And as far as my dating, I hope that you like this person that I'm dating. However, you don't get to choose that person.
But I think Alfonso is finally starting to become a little afraid that Shay may be leaving or considering it, because he said something that's very telling. I can't see myself living without her. Okay. Now, whether he means that or not, but it came out of his mouth. He said it. and he's not laughing as much in this episode as he had before. I don't even think he laughed at all in this episode. Particularly when she was in, when they was talking to Dr. Nicole, and she was saying what a great day she had, and what this gentleman was telling her about men who play games. Alfonso did not crack a smile. He was not laughing. In fact, he was upset about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He stopped all that silly laughing because I was like, "Look, dude, you
Sure
too old
did.
for that. You too old for that. Sitting up there giggling and laughing and hee-heeing like a little schoolboy. Grow up."
Sure did. Sure did. So, but yeah, but what do you think about because I want to talk about the list that Otis and Charlana was making, and
Yeah,
also
I was ready to move on to that. Come on then.
also the salsa dancing. We got to get to the salsa dancing with
Okay, well,
Shorty.
how about we do the list?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. No, they were making a list of, I guess, the pros and cons, how to improve their
No, they were
relationship.
actually right. No, they were actually talking about things that they wanted more of in the relationship.
The
Was what the
love
list.
languages.
Love, yes.
Yeah, they talking about the love languages, right? And they couldn't even get past the point where
The first number one on the, no, they couldn't even get on number one. They
couldn't even get on number one. They start arguing about being on social media when they're trying to spend quality time together. They both got stuck right there. It's like, we're trying to spend quality time together. You on Instagram, right? This is what she's telling Otis. Then Otis says, okay, we can address that. How come when we in bed at night at 12 o'clock at night trying to have quality time, you're on Instagram? And then Charlie goes, we're not talking about me right now. We're talking about you. And they got stuck right there and never got past it because they're both petty as hell, both of them. And they have an inability to listen to one another. Both of them had the same problem.
That's true. That is true. Jeremy, what do you think about the conversation between your romance with Charlie? What do you think about it with her and Otis?
When you called her weak, or
No, this is the part where now they're at home. They're out the therapy session and they're now having a conversation as asked by Dr. Ponytail to talk about their love language, as Alex was just saying. And so they're on number one, and she's saying that she wants more compliments and less criticism, and also for him to stay off of IG when they're spending quality time.
oh, okay.
And yeah, you got that. Okay, so now what do you think about it?
So I think the issue that they have is that both of them are unwilling to bend, or they're just waiting for the other one, like, to bend first. I feel like that Otis isn't recognizing that if he just gives Charlana what she wants, she then she will give him what he wants. Like, it's a symbiotic reciprocity. They don't want that. They're waiting for the other one, to bend first, and then they do like these little petty games and, like, childish things like that. And it's almost like kind of like selfishness. It's almost like, well, I'm not gonna do this until you do this, and like, I'm gonna you did this, but I did this, but did you do that? Like, it's almost kind of like that, like a little tit for tat type of thing. And I don't feel, in my opinion, that, Dr. Nicole can't help this situation at all, because in my opinion, I don't feel that Otis really respects women, especially what she has to say. I feel like he's only there now to just end, to get through to the process.
To placate his woman, basically. Yeah, I get that too. I see that. I see with him what I see in on a whole nother show. But for those of you who watch Married at First Sight this season, the guy named Elijah one, who absolutely has no respect for women. And when you see that, and I've talked about this before, ladies, when you see men who do not love women, run, not walk, do not walk, run away from them. Because
And
I'm not talking about sexual. I'm talking about they just don't respect women. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
and I was gonna say that I feel that, and maybe I'm just reading this between the two. I really feel
Mhm.
that the thing that links them together so harshly, is the intimacy and sexual energy that they probably have together. I think they probably are very sexually compatible. And I feel that a lot of times, that can kind of sway her thoughts, or kind of cloud her judgment
How many times have I said that? And
in the
I
way that
always
she should
get,
move.
I
I
say it
know,
all the time.
like I know, as soon as Charlie gets into bed, that man is literally doing it, like he's doing his job, and then she's
Mhm.
doing her job, and I feel like they
Mhm.
like it puts a band-aid on it, and then they go right back into the back
I
into
agree.
the regular motions.
I agree 100%. I said this 100 times. Great sex confuses things, and that's what they've been hanging on to. That's what Shorty been hanging on to. That's what Charlie's been hanging on to for 3.5 years. They got all these complaints, but they haven't gone anywhere yet. Why is that?
I think there's some bonding going on too. You use that and you oversimplify things, and I don't disagree with you that for some people that sex does complicate things, obviously, but I think that for couples that have been together 3-4 years, I think that there's usually even more complications and more matters than that. So that's just one thing on the list
I
that is
mean,
that they're still hanging on. But yeah,
I'm
but for Charlie and no, to go back to you, Jeremy, what you're saying for Charlie and Otis, the thing that I see is, first of all, they have nothing in common. They don't share core values. He wants a traditional woman. She's a
Mhm.
modern woman. So what the hell are we doing together? You want
I
Betty?
don't.
You
But
you want Betty Home Crocker to stay at home and give you compliments and tell you how great you are, even though your hair is thinning and your testosterone is obviously dropping. So you probably ain't that great, and if you are, you ain't gonna be that great long because your testosterone is dropping, dude. So okay, but he wants that. She wants that. She wants the same thing. She wants compliments. She wants someone that actually listens to her, and he doesn't believe in listening. He's all about himself. So those
Mhm.
two things are never gonna work out.
No.
I just don't like I don't that's why I was trying to say, to me, the only thing that links them together like they are is, to me, sexual attraction and sexual chemistry, because they don't have anything in common. And by the way that
Yes.
they're speaking to each other, and the way that, and them needing to come to this show, the bonding obviously isn't there like that, because if that was the case, then there would be more intimacy. And just sex is not intimacy. Like
No.
they have no intimacy, they have no warmth in their relationship. It's cold. It's just is dry, and like I just see nothing there. I don't like. I feel that
Exactly.
out of all three of the couples, I feel like they're gonna end. You know,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna make it to the end.
They
Yeah.
won't. They won't. I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. But one thing I'll say is that I feel like this. I feel like the guy Otis, he doesn't have a shot at any healthy woman that has healthy boundaries. He doesn't have a shot at all with that person. And I know Atlanta is a tough market, but somebody will have him because he's a piece of a man and whatever. But the young lady, Charlie, I hope that she has not develop those bad habits that she has with him. I hope that when she meets the next guy, she will drop those habits of being petty and argumentative and actually have conversations with the next guy that she likes.
Right.
You
And,
Well,
know,
and
actually, like, I think I really do think that depending on who you with brings out certain different things. For example,
true, it can.
I had two different relationships that were like closer in proximity to one another. When I was dating one person, and he brought out a very argumentative side of me, and like I will always have to hem them up, like verbally, because they were always trying to hem me up verbally, unprovoked
Right.
a lot of times, I felt like. But for some reason I liked them enough to still want to stay. Definitely wasn't anything physical, it was really because I liked the person. But then I had the next relationship where the person was so kind to me, so gentle with me, and very thoughtful and
Oh,
everything else like that, and that brought out such a passive and almost submissive side to me that I didn't even know I had, because like,
wow.
yeah, and like, so much so that even after, we decided that it was best to, stop things for now, I even invited him to like my graduation, because we had that much, great chemistry. I feel like different people can bring out different things in certain people. So I don't
yeah.
think that
Absolutely.
necessarily when she goes to the next relationship, she's going to be argumentative. I just think that, Otis brings that out of her.
And I say too, Jeremy, for the record, because you say that Alfonso gets all the gorgeous women. The young lady that Otis dated with the tattoo on the back, I think she could give
Oh,
Charlie a run for her money.
she was beautiful. She was.
Yeah.
I thought
Wait,
she was
y'all talking
beautiful.
about Milan?
Yeah, Milan.
Yes,
Yep.
yeah,
I
Milan.
definitely. I'm sorry. I definitely disagree. I'm sorry. I don't
Yeah.
see it. I
Okay,
looked at
all
Milan
right.
a couple of times to try to see because I heard y'all say that a couple weeks ago as well, and I was looking at her. I was like, "It's that she cute?" But like to
Okay.
me, Charlie has a level of gorgeousness about her. I don't know, something about Charlie is different.
No.
Like that
Okay.
Milan girl was pretty,
We
but she wasn't. She wasn't on Charlie's pretty.
Well,
I don't think.
we know you would take the Beyonce internet and make it the Charlie internet. We already got that, but we must move on to the salsa dancing because we have a time curfew because we have to do a double right after this. So,
Right,
guys, I
right.
hope you'll come back and join us for Love and Marriage DC. But moving on to the salsa dancing, what are your thoughts about that, Alex?
My thing was that Shorty is enjoying Tavi or Tavi, however you pronounce his name, right?
Hmm.
She is really, really just the third date, and it's probably going to be a fourth date. But what I think she's enjoying more and more about her time with Tavi is that she's kind of ribbing Kenny with it. She got a knuckle in his rib. Like this could be your replacement if you don't step it up. And she's constantly like, putting him down and rubbing Tavi in his face because Kenny has not had a second date with anyone. Okay,
No,
because
he
he's
has
yeah,
not because he hasn't met anybody that financially meets his criteria that he's seen their banking information and
I was
whatnot
just about
yet.
to say that. Like it's
but
his
So,
own
also
fault.
also
like I
oh
said, he's
yeah,
already comfortable where he is,
for sure.
and men will do that. They will get comfortable where they are. But guess what? Like I said, she's got a choice. She don't want him no more.
And she's turned on by a neck tattoo. That's where she's at mentally. Okay.
Well, now I've
Okay.
already spoken what I think about that. I think that's
Right.
very silly, but
Mm-hmm.
that's her. She has shown us early on when she said, because my first clue that she's a bad picker of men when she told the therapist, Dr. Ponytail, well, I when I met Kenneth, he wined and dined me, he did this and that. And well, she didn't even say wine and dine. Let me back up on that because she didn't say that. That's something I would say, but she didn't say that. She said, well, he presented himself in a way that I thought he had more going on. And by the time I had figured it out, I was in love. And I said, oh, that's horse pucky right there. She was
Yeah.
not in love. He did not present anything. He did not wine and dine her. He doesn't have the resources to wine and dine anybody. So you therefore are lying. And thus and
Yeah.
such, because you did not think he had all that. You didn't. You can
And
look at him and see he don't have a lot.
she was enjoying Tabby pulling himself closer to her as they danced and all that. She's kind of enjoying it. She's enjoying the whole
Now,
thing.
I
Yeah.
disagree with you. I didn't see her pulling what's his face Tabby close to her. I didn't
They
see
got
that.
well, he was
I
pulling her
watched
close
it.
because they got to dance. Salsa dancing, you got to do that. They were touching, so you have to do that in salsa dancing, more or
All
less.
right, Jeremy, your thoughts
Um,
on the
I
salsa dancing
I don't have any thoughts on this.
on the
Like
date?
I don't have any thoughts on this scene. Honestly,
Okay,
it was very blah for me. I was like, yeah, yeah.
you're not seeing. Okay, okay, we're
I
gonna
was
move
like,
on.
I was
And
because
another.
go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
I
No, go
would
ahead.
say, like, at this point, like she gave Kenneth his chance to pick a woman and make her jealous and go on more. She was literally like forcing him, like, go on more dates, but he did not.
Right.
So now she doing it, and now he at home mad, but he has nobody to be mad at except himself. So
Well, speaking of Kenneth, we're going to move on to the next scene, and that's Kenneth has decided that he needs to meet with Dr. Ponytail, and Dr. Ponytail basically tells him that he has a part to play in this whole thing too, and that what is he going to do? Is this thing sustainable as it is, or is he going to have to move on?
Mm-hmm.
So, Alex, I know you
Yeah.
got some thoughts on that.
Well, basically, he's at his wits' end at this point because he's getting stuff rubbed in his face. He's being talked down to. He's being belittled by Shorty on a regular basis. This is just not one or two comments. She's doing it every episode, and it's growing more and more intense as the season goes along. So, as he said in his one-on-one, he said, I'm just about done. At this point, I don't even care anymore. And I hope he's right because he should take his self-esteem and his integrity, whatever that may be, and walk.
Mm-hmm.
Leave her with her settlement and walk.
That's
Take
right.
take your power back and walk and become the man that Alfonso and Otis was talking to him about when they were out shooting pool together and they had the man-to-man talk. And they both told him, well, Alfonso told him, get your stuff together and can't no woman tell you nothing. This is why Shay can't tell him nothing about his business. She tell Alfonso about the women, but as far as him being able to take care of her, she cannot dispute that
Well,
at all.
nobody else, no other woman out of those three couples. It's just Shorty. I mean, but
Yeah.
like I said, most women aren't going to date a guy that's a dud like that. That's a
Mm,
dud. That's a
mhm,
dud. That's a
mm.
dud. That's a dud. So now, if you 15 or 16 and the guy can only afford a burger from, McDonald's, White
Mm,
Castle,
mm,
Burger King, that's okay. But
mhm.
the difference between 16 and 36 is great.
Yeah.
There's some development that needs to take place. That's what I'm
Mm,
saying. Okay, so
And
I don't know allegedly what's going on with Kenneth, but that seems to be that he's, a
mm,
dud. He's a dud.
mm. So you ready? You ready to jump over here and get to the next show? What kind of time
wait,
crunch
no,
we
we
on?
still wait.
Hold
No,
on.
we
Don't do that. Don't do that.
we still haven't talked about Shay and
Right.
her date.
Thank
Oh,
you.
jeez.
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
did.
Go ahead.
I did.
Just anyway, Jeremy, go ahead. We heard you
Okay.
earlier. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Well, well, I had a lot of thoughts about, Shay and her date. I thought that, he was really nice guy. Thought he was quite handsome. I was like, he definitely came across a little bit more mature than she did, and probably a little bit more older as well, But let's look at Alfonso. Alfonso was way older than her anyway. So,
I don't know
but
about way. I don't know
it
about
was
I,
it
yeah,
way.
was
I don't see there being a big gap between them. I see maybe possibly 3 years talking about between Shay and Alfonso.
yes, Alfonso's almost 50.
Is he in real
Yeah.
Yeah.
life? Really?
Mm.
He doesn't
Yeah.
show up that way.
Yeah.
I put him at about I pictured him being about 45, and I picture her being
N-
about 42. So I don't
No,
see that
him and
there's
like him
oh,
and Rick Ross were childhood friends.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I like I mentioned before, and maybe I haven't to you, but I don't know anything about Rick Ross. I know less than him about him than the other guy you guys keep talking about, Beckham or whatever. So these people,
So
they are not on my radar. Okay.
so I guess what I'm trying to say is that, when it comes to the relationship, it's quite strange to me how a man that barely knows Shay can see how easy she's getting played. It's quite sad almost in a way that man was literally telling her like, you deserve a lot better, like you are gorgeous, you are pretty, which she is, like she's all of those things. And I know some people might misconstrue me, like, dragging Shay for saying that she's not pretty and she's not gorgeous, or have she doesn't deserve better, but she honestly does. I just hate the stupidity that she rests in, and she did it again this episode. And she was like, well, maybe he right, maybe Fonzo really is sitting here, comfortable. Like, sis, at what point have you not already figured this out? Like, why are you making it seem like this is stuff that you do not know already? And that makes me upset. Like, I do not like people playing with my intelligence. Like, why? Like,
I
why
know
are you
that's
sitting?
right.
Like, why are you sitting here acting like you do not know that your man is comfortable? Like, and that you. And another thing, the reason
Go
why
off, Jeremy. Go
and
off.
the reason why he will never wife Shay is because she doesn't carry herself like a woman. She doesn't. She's very childlike. She's very Bad Girls Club. That's what she reminds me a lot of Bad Girls Club.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, I'ma cuss you out. I'ma throw this. I'ma show my tail. I'ma do this. You gonna know this. Like, no man wants that. Even when they do things wrong, you should be able to conduct yourself in a manner that lets us know that you at least respect yourself, even though the man doesn't. You don't
Mm-hmm.
respect you. He don't respect. Don't nobody in a relationship, and I mean on both parties, respect Shay. Like, so I'm
Mm.
saying, like, you don't carry yourself as a woman, but you want him to treat you as a wife, but you don't carry yourself as such. A real woman, when they caught wind of all of the things that Alfonso was doing, they would have packed up their stuff, they would have left, they would have calmly be like, okay, I see that this is the game that you want to play, so I'm gonna let you play it. Have fun, enjoy your life. I guarantee you that would have had way more impact than you trying to cuss, fight people who have nothing to do with the issues that are in your relationship.
Show up at his mother's house unannounced when she didn't even hasn't even been
Exactly.
introduced
And
to
I'm
his
and I'm
mother.
and I'm and I'm saying, like, he won't. The reason why he won't choose her over his baby mother is because his baby mother probably has way more maturity than she does. The baby mama already has displayed that on social media when she said that she really likes Shay and she hopes the best for her. She just wants Shay to stop trying to fight everybody because she's worth more than that. How does the baby mother like have more respect for you than you do yourself?
Wow. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. That whole who is it is right here? Ellen V says she is bad girls club. Oh my goodness. That whole fighting, like who's still fighting after 5th or 6th grade? Like especially a female, a woman. Like who's doing that?
A
Right.
lot of them.
And the sad thing about it
I
is
guess.
I
I haven't
really
had a fight since probably 5th grade.
and I really do think that Shay is a good person. I think that she's a nice person. I don't doubt that, anybody who is friends with Shay, as far as girlfriends go or guy
Hmm.
friends, that they will say that she's a great friend and she's very loyal. I could see that. But I'm saying that in the grand scheme of things, if all you're gonna do every day is disrespect yourself, degrade yourself, and humiliate yourself, sis, that man is not going to accept you. And the reason that he doesn't want to let you go is because he knows that no matter what he does, who he does it with, you are going to be there. He knows that
Mhm.
you're going to be upset, that you're going to be irate. You might cry a little bit, but you're going to get over it, make him some food, do whatever you do to him, and then it's on to the next day.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
why. Did you?
who would leave that comfort? What man would leave that comfortability to know that they could do whatever they want to do? They just have to deal with their wife, the girlfriend crying a little bit, and everything is going to be good the next day. So of course he wants Shay there because if he knows for the most part he cannot try that with anybody else that actually have respect for themselves that has that level of beauty.
Did you know? Did you notice how upset Alfonso was when Shay told him what the guy said at the date, as far as men not introducing their main to their families because if they don't do that, they're running game. You see how upset Fonzo got? That
Yes.
look on his face, and I've seen that look many times. That's the look of I've been exposed. That's why he got so angry at this guy.
Yeah,
And
he
and and,
did.
and, and even at the date when the guy said that to Shay, you see how quick she shut down? She kind of shut down after he said that.
Now I bet you she's
She
gonna be
did.
goofy and not
She
give
was
that.
ready. She was ready to go on that day. She was like, "Okay, check."
That,
This is gonna this,
that
like
that's it.
this is gonna be my last thing. Shay would be an idiot if she did not go on a second date with that guy. She would be
Mm.
a complete idiot because obviously that man would cause Alfonso to shake in his boots because he thinks that she's getting all of the knowledge of what he's doing behind the scenes. So she needs to go on more dates with this man. Not only that, he's not a bad looking guy either, and he respects her. I feel that and he's straightforward, he's honest. Like, why not go on another date with this man and cause him to shiver in his boots? Like, I don't think she might do it because she don't want Fonzo on the second date. But I just think I'm gonna pray for Shay.
Game
That's all I say.
exposed.
Let's move
The, the,
on.
the game has been exposed. Period.
Right, right. Well, guys, we'll be seeing. What do you guys? We'll be seeing. We'll be seeing what happens next week. Thank you guys for joining us. We're getting ready to hang up from this one, and we're coming right back in 10 minutes. We'll be right back with Love and Marriage, DC.
Hit
Thank
those
you
like
guys.
buttons. Hit
Hit the
those like
like button.
buttons.
Yes, thank you. Tell them, tell them, tell them. Now I'm in agreement with you. You can say that. I won't even cut you off.
Hit them like buttons. Hit the like
trying to
buttons.
trying to get these last comments. Miss Creative, please join us, and Sonya at and this is a wonderful content creator, ladies and gentlemen. The lady Let the Lady Speak podcast is a wonderful podcaster, and we're going to be doing a collaborative together soon. So but join us in 10 minutes. We'll be right back with Love and Marriage DC. Just give us a quick break and we'll be right back, guys. Thank you for joining us. Please hit the like button. If you're here on the replay, leave a comment, guys. We need those comments. Help us to get into the algorithm, and thank you so much. We're almost there, and we will be giving the information for the cash giveaway very soon. Thank you, guys. We're out. Jeremy. Are you, after we do Love and Marriage, Huntsville, are you going to be doing your podcast right immediately after the next one?
No, not today. I promised somebody I was gonna spend some quality time with them because I've been gone for a week.
Well,
So
hey
like
now, hey now.
I gotta be true to my word.
Well, in the great words of Ace, oh my God.
Oh Lord, oh Lord. All right, guys, we're out. Bye now.